So, coming from CNBC, Microsoft lifts prices of Xbox consoles due to soaring component costs. I'm sure that's going to do well for the Xbox world. Hey, you know that console you really had no interest in buying? Yeah, now it's even more expensive. I do feel Microsoft really has to figure out what their business plan is for the Xbox department, or it is going to burn in really, really bad. I do think they have a new CEO. They have a new CEO. I think it's a woman. I think she's coming in, like, really trying to shake things up. And from everything that I've seen, she is shaking things up, to be clear. Things are getting very shaky in the Xbox world. I'm a bit at a loss as to how this is going to wind up in any success. So I just talked about it. I literally just did a post talking about Apple. So Apple is raising the prices of their hardware by anywhere between $100 to $300. And one of the things I talked about with Apple is that although a lot of people may bitch, whine, moan, and complain about the price of Apple products going up, most people that will buy Apple will still probably swipe the credit card at the end of the day. As I've said, I use Final Cut in order to edit my videos. I do a lot of other things with the Mac platform. If I had to go out and buy a brand new Mac today, it ended up being $300 more than I was expecting. If you think the lifespan of the computer is going to be at least 3 years, that means $300 split over 3 years is only extra $100 a year, which means it's only worth about an extra $8 per month. And so if I sit there and I'm like, well, let's see, I'm not going to spend an extra $300 on a Mac. I'm going to go buy a Dell instead and use Adobe Premiere. Yeah, come on now, it's just not going to happen. I mean, the pain. I do have a little bit of self-respect, right? So I think it's kind of interesting with the whole disaster with hardware prices and that type of thing, as different companies start jacking up the price of their hardware and seeing what their market position, really is. So with Apple computers, they can probably coast through increasing the prices of their products, and they might see a little bit of loss. Basically, they're going to see the loss of people who literally can't afford their product anyway. This is not going to be a decision point for people. They're going to be like, I don't got that much money, and they're not going to buy the product, right? So you look at a company like Apple. On the other hand, you look at PlayStation or Sony, right? So Sony has increased the cost of PlayStations over the last year, and I would argue the thing with PlayStation is not nearly as in demand as like Apple products are, but it's a good quality game console. It is the leading generation of game console right now. So I think it's kind of one of those things like, again, you might slow down, especially if you're a teenager. You might push back your purchase of a game console. It may reduce sales some, but, what are you going to do? Go buy an Xbox? No, you're not, right? So Sony is, okay in their security with these price hikes. You then look at Microsoft and the Xbox, and Xbox was already sucking wind. Xbox was already drowning before the price hikes, and now they're going to be jacking these things up by $100, $150 a piece. And you're just like, what is the business plan here? It's just, I don't know. Is this the death? Do you think this is the death of Xbox? And to be clear, I have nothing particularly against Xbox. I've never actually owned an Xbox before, but I have nothing particularly against Xbox. It's just, it's just kind of curious. It's kind of curious to see Microsoft shake up the Xbox department. And you're just like, I don't see this ending well. Hours after Apple announced price increases for MacBooks and iPads, Microsoft said consumers can also expect to pay more for Xbox game consoles, reflecting rising component costs. Starting August 1st, Xbox Series S consoles containing 512 gigs of storage will go up by $100 to about $500. So the S series is the low tier series of Xbox, and that's with 512 gigs of RAM. It's now going to cost you $500. Microsoft said Thursday, while models with 1 terabyte will increase by $150 more, the entry-level Xbox Series X will now start at about $750. Dude, I just can't imagine spending $750 on an Xbox. Quote, last October, we increased Xbox console prices by $20 to $70 in the US, the company said in a blog post. So these prices are already increased. We hoped another price increase would not be necessary, and we have spent the last several months working with suppliers on options. Microsoft said, quote, the console storage and memory prices have increased by more than 2.5x, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027. So if you're looking at $750 for the entry-level Xbox Series X, and they're talking about another doubling of hardware costs by 2027. So that, what the an Xbox is going to cost $1,000? I don't see how that works. I mean, I know the younger generation is a little allergic to grass. I know the younger generation, they look out there and they see fields of grain, and it's like a horror movie to them. It's like, but what's in those golden fields of grain? I do have to believe when Xboxes get to be about $1,000 a pop, the kids are gonna start going out and they're like, well, the grass might kill me, but I can't afford my game consoles anymore, so I guess I'm going out in the grass. Lordy, soccer's gonna come back. Basketball. You're gonna start to see kids in the streets again. You're like, why are the kids in the streets? And they're like, because nobody can afford game consoles anymore. I mean, seriously, think about it. $750, and it's gonna go up. Quote, the entire consumer electronics industry is struggling with the current components crisis, but the effects are particularly hard on consoles, Xbox said in the post. Unlike phones, computers, speakers, and other consumer devices, consoles are typically not sold at a profit, but instead for less than they cost to make. Microsoft said the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X, introduced in 2024, will no longer be available. So 2 terabyte version is gone. And basically what they're saying here is that the consoles are loss leaders. And this is one of the issues that you run into when corporations sell loss leaders, because basically they're selling the console, they're selling the device. The idea is they lose money. Maybe they don't make anything. They probably lose a little bit of money every time they sell the device. But when you buy games and when you buy the accessories, that's where they get their profits. The problem is when day one you're losing money selling your product, and then hardware costs go through the roof. The problem it's that whole expectations thing. People expect certain devices, certain things to cost certain amounts of money, right? So you have set the expectations that consoles should cost an amount of money. When I think about consoles, I think about it costs about $300. $300. Now, to be clear, when I say that, I know I'm not a boomer. So you're like, oh, that's just the old. No, but I mean, like when I was a kid, they were like $100. But okay, a console, whatever, it should be about $300. Now, you start talking about $750 for a console. Oh, Lordy, makes me want to go out and run another couple miles. I don't know, do anything else. Maybe go to the cafe, drink a cup of coffee, flirt with a girl, roll around in the grass. Hey, maybe roll around in the grass with a girl. You might want to do that. I don't know. It's about the only thing you're going to be able to fucking afford pretty soon. What do you think about this, though, for the young people? I think about this in the modern world with entertainment. Like, what's fascinating with me, especially being this whole YouTube environment thing, is just the how important entertainment has become for the younger generations. Like for my generation, entertainment is entertainment, right? You do your job, you deal with your family, you deal with your community, you deal with your side projects, and at the end of the day, you watch like an hour of TV. So like for me, my wife and I, after we do everything we do in a day, at about 9 o'clock at night, currently we're sitting down, we're watching Schitt's Creek. Pretty good show. Anyways, and we watch it for, I don't know, like 30 minutes to an hour. It's about 30 minutes to an hour a day of television because we have like other things to do. One of the things that I find fascinating with the younger generation, I'm not even really trying to snark here, is just how fundamentally important entertainment and content has become. Right? I remember the old days. I was there for Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation. I was in Marley Station Mall, Glen Burnie, in the movie theater. I saw Mortal Kombat 2 Annihilation in the theater. And I walked out of the theater. I was like, wow, that was a shockingly bad movie. that was just so bad. I didn't really think about it anymore. Because it's like, oh, that's a crappy movie. That's about all there was to say. Like, my friends didn't really talk about it. Like, we might talk about like the cool movies that came out, but that was about it. Like we were not invested into entertainment, right? And what's kind of curious nowadays is how invested people are in it. Entertainment is really, really, really important. Again, take the snark and whatever, it's just the fact. And so what's going to be kind of interesting is what happens when the younger generation gets priced out of entertainment. Like, it's one of those weird things, like people talk about and they complain, and they don't really think about what the option is, right? So they talk about that with young people nowadays, like, oh, they don't know how to be bored, right? I've talked about that, being in West Virginia. You know, you sit there in West Virginia at the end of the day with family members around the dining room table, and you literally basically sit there watching the flies fly around the dining room light. And yeah. Anyways, right? And that was the kind of thing. Like when I was young, like boredom. You were bored 90% of the time. But one of the curious things to think about is like when entertainment becomes unaffordable, when entertainment becomes unattainable for the younger generation, and they're not used to that. Like what is that? What is that going to look like? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. We're going to find out. So what do you think about this? Would you spend $750 on an Xbox? Oh, Lordy. Would you spend $500 for literally the lowest level Xbox you can possibly buy? What do you think about the prices going up? They're already saying 2027, the prices are going to go up even more. Can you imagine spending more than $750 on an Xbox? And what do you think? What do you think happens when the kids get priced out of basic entertainment? Do you think they'll actually find out what grass is for again? Who knows? Who knows? Put your thoughts down in the comment section. If you like these videos, remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. Also, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.